It's great being at the Independent Show because we get to see old friends like Rob Shema. Rob, it's great to see you, and you are really, you could say, a first-time attendee, at least on this side of the camera or something. Last time we saw each other was at WEC. Well, first, let's get your impressions as someone looking, outside into this show. What have your thoughts been?
Well, I think the show has been incredible. One, it's been a lot more fun for me, right? I mean, at the end of the day, when you look at what I used to have to do and the hours I used to have to spend and the networking I had to complete as a staffer, it's much different being an attendee. I can tell you it's much more enjoyable being an attendee. There's a lot more behind the curtains, sausage being made types of things that I didn't have to participate this time, and it was great to miss it.
Yeah.
But I think the folks that did make the sausage did an incredible job bringing the right folks in to speak, creating the right network opportunities, and just getting us all together for the first time after what was a nasty pandemic. We all got together and got to spend some time with each other, which is really important.
Yeah, you don't even know there's a sausage factory back there because everything's so smooth from the surface, right?
Exactly. I still see little things because I was there, but it's nice being out in front of the curtain.
Well, and now you're on the other side of the curtain. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, because you're doing some really exciting things already.
So it's great. I work for a company called ComNet, Inc., which is owned by 21 ILEC companies in Western Ohio. They're a great group of companies that have a great staff and provide great service to their customers. What we do is help them with their back-end type stuff. We help them with their NOC and their call center and all those types of things. And then we have a second component, which is called Independence Fiber Network. Independence Fiber Network is the link between those companies from a fiber perspective that links them together and gets them to the internet. The easiest way to explain it to folks is we're the ISP to ISPs.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I want to talk a little bit more about that and some of the efforts here at the NCTC announced. But first, let's talk about a new initiative you guys announced, Hoosier Net.
So Hoosier Net is really exciting because it's the first statewide network that really brings together ILECs and electric co-ops. Hoosier Net's made up of 17 ILEC telephone companies and 18 REMCs. The 18 REMCs came in together as a cord, which is one company, but it basically represents these 18 REMCs that are getting into the broadband business. We're going to do the same thing that we do in Western Ohio over in Indiana. We're going to link, it's going to be we're going to have to build 370 miles of fiber to link all of these ILECs and REMCs together. But once we have them together, we'll be covering about 90% of the state of Indiana.
That's incredible, and that leads to the discussion that we heard today of NCTC connecting everyone and helping it make it easier to connect businesses and so forth.
I think there's a couple different initiatives that NCTC is working on. I think they have the long-haul fiber situation where they're trying to connect their members to the internet the way we do with our owners both in Ohio and Indiana. So there's that transport piece that they're working on, and then there's the new project called the Connectivity Exchange, and this is really exciting. I mean, at the end of the day, it's how do you monetize these networks? It's easy to build them. I shouldn't say it's easy, but the easy part really is building it. The hard part is how do you monetize it, right? How do you make money and keep these networks sustainable while trying to keep prices low enough for the owners to have them have low price access to the internet. So when you look at that, being able to monetize it becomes really important, and that's what NCTC is going to help us do. They're going to try and find a situation where they can help sell that network to big national buyers, and when you look at them, they actually have a larger footprint than Comcast when you take into consideration all of the members of the NCTC.
Probably in more geographic regions too, a geographic footprint too, right?
Well, I don't know if it's more geographical footprint, but it's definitely more rural.
Yeah. And what it does, as I understand it, it helps actually connect the customers, the prospects, so you can learn about them and know what to offer them and so forth, right?
I think so. I think it's going to be a big database type of thing where they're going to provide the opportunity for the customer to kind of go in and look at the footprint and say, hey, pick this area, and get me my best pricing. They're going to get that pricing, and then they're going to be able to just basically direct book it, over the internet. That's the way I understand it's going to work.
And that works real well with the theme we just heard from the economist, the idea of using technology to augment the labor that isn't necessarily around, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting to hear her speak about where the labor market's going, right? I thought inflationary pricing and savings and all of those types of things were going to be the issue. But when you talked, when the economist spoke, she said those aren't the issue. The issue is long-term, the labor supply and how are we going to find the labor, and are we going to be able to automate some of the things today that are done by people. Hopefully the process works the way NCTC thinks, and with that automation can pay off for all of us.
Well, it's very exciting times because a lot of great things are happening, and you're part of that. So, Rob, it's great catching up with you.
Great catching up with you, Ken. Always good to see you.
Likewise, thanks.